live. Is this on videos? Hasn't come up here yet on here. I think we're broadcasting, but
there's 2 people on there.
hello.
Hello.
Okay, we're just trying to get things hooked up here. My videos. I'm not showing up on here, so I'm not sure if we're going to be safe. Let's see. Oh, there's. Hi, Ian. Thanks. We're enjoying our time here. I'm just trying to see the chat on my phone, and I'm not seeing anything yet. My champagne out of the way. Let's see here. What do I need to do?
Two.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to get this to hook in here. Let's say now, that's not what I want. So just bear with me, people. Anybody that's on here, we're just trying to get hooked up.
Up to 5.
Okay, my videos. There we are. Okay.
Hello, Stu and Walter. Having fun.
Okay.
Hello, Stu and Walter.
Pause. I want to see the chat. How do I see the chat? And go this way and okay, we'll be right with everybody in just a second, trying to get the technology to work here.
There we go.
There we go. That's what I want. Okay. So, you have to bear with us, people, because this isn't home. Anyway, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore, Dorothy. Walter. So, let's see. Ian says, hello. Craft and Betty. Hi, Stephen and Walter. How's London? London is great. We're having a great time, Bev.
Weather's pretty good.
Cindy says, hello, Stephen and Walter. Having fun. Just, not so I sound picky or anything, but my name is actually spelled with a V, not a PH. Anyways, it's a bit breaky uppy. Yeah, it could be because this connection we have in the hotel is pretty good. So you may have to just put up with that or, you know, watch it on the rebroadcast later. Sandy says, carry on, gentlemen. Okay, great. So, yep. Now, this is coming on very early from our other times, of course, because we're on London time. So right now in London, it is 5:43. And so that means back at home, if we're at home, it would only be 12:43 in the afternoon. So those of you that live on this side of the ocean, you're getting it earlier than normal. Those of you that, not earlier, yeah, I guess it would be earlier than what I would be broadcasting it. And those of you living back in our area, North America, well, it's much earlier for you than usual. Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, well, it would be later
yeah.
in the evening in London when we would normally broadcast, and at home it will be earlier in the afternoon.
Yeah, I just unplugged the cord from this because I think I got enough power for this live. So, thank you, Cindy. You made my day. You spelled my name right. Not that it's a big deal, but I'm not a step hen. I'm a Steven. The V, the right way to spell it. So, let's see. It says, watch out the storms that's coming over the weekend. Well, okay, we were watching the local weather here, and they were predicting it was going to be, at least for London, about 20 degrees tomorrow, Saturday. So we'll see. I do find the weather fairly warm here, and it's funny. We've been walking around in shirt sleeves. Walter's got a short sleeve shirt on. We tried walking around with our jackets on, but
we were sweating so bad, and everybody's walking around with even like down-filled type coats and everything, and we're sweating buckets here. So halfway through the afternoon, I walked. I said I've had it. So we were in Hyde Park. I took off my coat. I started carrying it. I said that's crazy. I'm the only one in short sleeve shirts, and everybody's bundled up.
We're even seeing some people wearing what look like parkas. If you know what a parka is.
Well, no, actually, I think there's a trend. These new really thin down-filled coats but they'd be too warm, I would think.
I would think.
And that was really hot today,
Oh yeah, we were just roasting. I was sweating through
I
everything.
think it was about 18 degrees, but that's still warm for us, though.
Yeah. So Cindy says, no, Sandy says it's 9:44 a.m. in the Pacific Northwest where she's from. Ian
Right.
says that it's 80. This prediction of 80-mile-per-hour winds. And Cindy says you can always tell a sightseer. Yeah, of course. And it can be humid. Yeah, well, we're finding it, not horribly humid, but...
It is a bit humid, yeah, and I can't understand people that have been walking around with these coats on, because all I have is a spring jacket, and I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt, and I was just sweating buckets, so...
Yeah, but anyways, needless to say, we've done a lot of walking around, and so it looks like, if you can tell us, is the broadcast still cutting in and out? Is the sound okay? Is the picture okay? Not much we can do about that, just because this is not our usual way of broadcasting. We are drinking champagne, because it is Champagne Fridays, and it may be a little early in the day for you to join us in a glass of bubbly, but it's the cocktail hour in London right now. And actually, where we got this champagne is from Marks and Spencer's. We used to have Marks and Spencer's in Canada. And if you're not familiar with what a Marks and Spencer's is, it's basically, it's a department store that sells clothing, housewares, home decor, and in some of them they have stores that are dedicated to selling just food, like a grocery store. And of course, over here, you can buy beer and wine in the grocery stores. Well, you can in Ontario now too. But we bought, this is Marks and Spencer's own brand of Prosecco. Yeah. So, actually,
It's not bad.
it's not a bad price. Well, it's a little bit more than we would have spent for, like, well, it was £10
It was 10
something.
cents, so it was pushing towards $20. But
Which I guess was basically about what we'd pay for cheap champagne or something. Sandy says it's great reception. That's good. And we bought some Marks and Spencer's Gouda as well.
Edam.
Oh, it's Edam? Edam?
Edam.
Oh, damn Edam. Yeah, whatever. It's cheese. Okay. And actually what we've been doing is we go to Marks and Spencer's because it's about 1 block away from the hotel we're staying at. We're staying pretty much central London, or the east end of London. Well, where is it in London?
It's in Kensington, what they call Kensington area.
That's right. It's Kensington area,
Which is
Earl's
just
Court.
east of where the middle of London is, I guess.
Yeah, Ian says good old Marks and Spencer's. And Ian said he put his reception down to 450p, and it's good. And Baz Jones says it's great reception, so good. I'm glad for the most part. But as I said,
I checked the upload speed on the hotel, and it's pretty good.
better than the uploads we get at home,
Right, so...
which is kind of weird. But anyway, so what have we been up to since we got here? Well, on Monday, we flew out of Toronto at about 8:50 Monday night, and
Arrived early on Tuesday.
yeah, the flight was okay. Actually, I thought I was really lucking out. When we got on the flight, we always get a seat, one on the aisle, well, both on the aisle, so that there's a row between us. So we're not actually sitting side by side. We're both on the end of an aisle, side by side. Because Walter...
Across the aisle from each other.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Because
So-
Walter doesn't want to sit with me anymore and doesn't want to be recognized
No, it's
with me.
because I tend to have to get up on a regular basis and walk around because I had
That's not what you told me.
two blood clots in my legs previously. So I need to get up and make sure my legs are circulating properly. So and he never gets up. So
I don't even go to the
I don't want to
bathroom.
feel trapped sitting next to him because I have to constantly ask him to get up. And so I just like sitting on the end of the row. But as it turns out, the plane wasn't full. So there's a lady he was on the window side
Yeah.
on the aisle, and there's a lady at the
Window
window
seat.
seat, but there was nobody in the seat occupied between the two of them. And then there was nobody, I was in the middle section on an aisle, and there was nobody in the seat next to me.
So
But-
I thought, lucked out. Because my luck is usually I'm on that seat and it's 3 across and there'll be one great big bruiser of a person sit there that needs to really buy 2 seats for the flight, you know what I mean, and overflow on top of me. And I really don't like to be touched by, I like to be touched by people that I know, let alone people touching me that I don't know. So I thought, really lucked out. Well, I don't know what was the matter with this poor lady, but she was very, 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 very tired.
She was, how old do you think?
Oh, she was probably 40-ish.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
I think.
she was, yeah.
You need to cut off the leg and count the rings. But at one point I was tempted to because she stretched out. She asked, do you mind if I lay down? I thought, well, I don't know how you're going to do that. I said, no, sure, fine. So she moved the arm up in the middle seat, and she sort of stretched herself out. It was not a very comfortable position, I don't think, because she was really longer than 2 seats, but that's where she slept a long time. At one point, I just wanted to say to her, well, do you want to put your head in my lap? But then that might have just looked too kinky. But she did sleep most of the way. I guess I lucked out because the women ahead of me. All right, right off the bat, this is going to sound racist, and it's not racist, and I really don't care whether it sounds racist or not, because this is the facts. This black lady got on the plane. She never shut her mouth from the time that we got on the plane in Toronto until we got off the plane in London. It was how long a flight? 6 hour?
Yeah, 6 hours.
6 hour flight.
And the poor lady that was sitting, she was at the window, and there was a lady sitting on the aisle, and there was nobody sitting in between them. And the poor lady that was sitting on the aisle had to listen to her all the way to London.
And then this woman kept having to get up to get her bag out of the overhead because she needed a shawl. Then she needed to put her hair up in something that looked like a voodoo.
And then she goes, "Oh well, I gotta turn off my electronics." So she pulled all her electronics out of there and started turning everything off and throwing it back into her bag. And it was just like very annoying.
But to make it even worse, one of the flight attendants, he reached over to her. We don't know exactly what he said to her, but I think he was trying to clean up. It was near the end of the flight, and he was trying to clean up, empty cans or bottles or anything like that. He reached over, and she grabbed the can from him. I guess she wasn't done yet or whatever. And he put his hand up, like to say, "Oh, I'm sorry." She went ballistic. He was disrespecting her. He put his hand in her face, and she had the staff come down, and she's saying she wanted to speak to the captain. The poor guy came over to her, and he apologized twice. He didn't do anything bad.
And even the lady that was sitting on the aisle kept saying to her, "He didn't do anything to you. Why are you so upset?" To the point where she got upset with the lady that was sitting at the aisle and said, "Well, I'm not talking to you either." So it was.
But she kept going on that she was some star on some. I think she has a YouTube channel. I don't know what it would be called. Maybe I'm a Bitch. I don't know. That would probably be the best title for it. I was so tempted. But when you're on a plane, you don't want to say anything to anybody anymore because they'll kick you off for anything these days. So I bit my tongue. I said nothing. I want to support the staff guy because, those poor people. I feel really sorry for them. They try to do the best job they can, and in this day and age, they have to deal with all kinds of wackos on there. And she was a wacko. There were no two ways about it. And so she was on the phone. As soon as we landed, she was on her phone. She was calling probably Air Canada representative or something. And she was demanding that she speak to the captain. We don't know what happened after that. Maybe she thought she might get a free flight out of them. Good luck.
Well, I don't know what happened, but I know that she would have had to. She was going to stay in London, and she would have had to go through customs where we were going through customs, and then we never saw her get off. So I don't know what happened.
Yeah, Ian says there's an expression for that in England. Shut up. Yeah, I know. If I'd had more guts. And if she had gotten off the plane the same time we would have, I might have walked up to her and said, I want to thank you for making my trip really enjoyable. You are a effing bitch. Shut the hell up. Play the racist card on me, sweetie. I can trump the racist card. You know why? I can scream discrimination too because I'm gay. Oh no, you didn't go there, did you? Oh, you talked to the ham, bitch, because gay man trumps straight woman every time. There's only one thing stronger than a gay man. It's a lesbian. Because they have trucks, they'll just hit you with them. So anyways, but besides that, the flight was okay. We got
Well,
here.
actually, it was funny. The lady that was laying on the seat next to you, you didn't see it, but I almost took a picture. And I'm sorry now that I didn't take a picture of it.
Yeah.
Because towards the end, she was decided to stretch out. She was sort of laying on her back, and she had her shoes off, which I don't like people having their shoes off on a flight. First of all, planes aren't that sanitary to begin with, and she's got her bare feet pressed against the window side. So some poor person has to sit there where she's put her bare feet the next time, because I'm sure they don't wipe down all the walls after between flights.
Yeah.
And so she takes her, she's on her back, and she takes her feet and stretches them right up to the ceiling.
So, okay, thank you. Show us where your mother lives. Yeah, really? I mean, okay. There isn't really a response for that. Just avert your eyes, keep your head down.
I'm sorry right now that I didn't take a picture of that.
Yeah, that would have been good.
That would have been good.
You're getting out of the shot here.
Oh, okay.
Move over a little closer to me.
My little box seat isn't...
Yeah, the room's not that big.
Yeah, we have a pretty good...
Yeah, it's
decent room, but it's small. But
the hotel, we've stayed in this hotel before, the Nadler, in Kensington, and it's an okay hotel. And it's really located to a lot of, restaurants. The area's kind of nice to be in, and you're close to, we're only a block and a half away from the tube station. So, and we've been going everywhere on the tube. And we've done the tube before when we've been here, so we were a little bit more comfortable with it than the very first time we came. Well, let me catch up here on comments that are scrolling by. So let's see. Evie says, hi, Stephen and Walter. How's it going? Hope you guys are rocking the UK real hard. Oh, we are. And Angelica says, hello, boys. Nice to see you. I know exactly what you're talking about. Ha ha. So probably about the plane business. And, of course, Ian had said there's an expression that in England, shut up. Yeah. Angelica says, I've just come home. I think she means I've just come home after a stressful week. So I have nothing to do. There's some weird typing here, but, you're like me. I can't do the thumb thing. Evie says, I don't want to sound racist either, but it's like black women have a problem with talking low, like whispering or so. They just can't. Yes, that's true, and she definitely had no problem with her volume. Angelica says, so I have something to smile. Welcome to Europe. Evie says, I hate when people pull off their shoes in the plane or train. It's kind of gross. I agree with you. Don't need that smell.
Actually, I was reading something a while ago that said that's one of the top 10 things that stewards and stewardesses don't like people to do on a plane, is to take their shoes off and in bare feet.
Yeah.
Especially wander around in bare feet and sock feet.
Yeah, no. It's really not your living room. Ian says, a friend I have is a lesbian, but she has a Fiat Punto? I don't know. I know it's a car, but...
Okay, I'm not sure. I don't think we have one of
I don't
those
think we
in
have those
Canada.
kind, but we get it. She's got a small car. She doesn't have a 4x4. Okay. In our country, they all drive 4x4s. Maybe.
Or trucks.
Well, okay.
No.
Gross generalization.
That's just gross generalization.
I'm just being funny. No, I'm not. Cindy says, maybe she was looking for a belly rub. Not touching it. Not going there. Barring the thing about sexual harassment, I just don't
Well,
touch.
not only that, whatever she was wearing on the plane certainly wasn't appropriate for the plane. It might have been appropriate on the street corner.
Yeah, she was, well, how do you put it gently? It was sort of what, hooker wear?
She was sort of wearing what I would consider, if you put on a baby, a onesie, and it was all stretchy. And she had a lot upstairs and a lot of junk in the trunk.
Yeah, and we really didn't need the camel toe thing working.
No,
it wasn't like, it was putting me off the food, and already airplane food puts me off food. So, Catherine says, oh, hi, Catherine. I'll have to watch and catch up on what I missed, but I hope you two are having a great time. We are having a really good time. Sandy has to run. Watch the replay later. Have a fun evening. Yeah, because for Sandy, I believe it's like 10 o'clock in the morning where she is, so she's just starting her day. Yeah, we are having a good time. So once we got here on Monday, We took the tube all the way from Heathrow, right up. Like I said, we're a block and a half away from a tube station. Of course, our room wasn't quite ready, but we knew that because at that point it was 10 o'clock in the morning and check-in's around 2.
Yeah.
But no problem, they just store your bags, and off we wandered. Now, we were tired because I didn't get much sleep on the plane.
I always have trouble sleeping on the plane, but
I dozed a little bit. But so anyways, we went out and started just our wandering. And we don't have a plan on this trip.
I did mark down some sites that I thought maybe we could do, type of thing. So, but what did we do on that day? Did we go to Brick Lane? I think we did.
Yeah, we walked to Brick Lane. We were trying to see areas that are kind of outside of the center core of the city, because that's always where we've kind of stuck when we've been here before. So we've been looking up things on YouTube, and there was an area called Brick Lane, which is kind of
yes, they have a lot of
Indian restaurants.
Indian restaurants down there. We didn't eat there, but
we do
sort
love
of
Indian
wandered
food.
around and
We're
went to a couple of markets. And
yeah, we're thinking of having Indian tonight, actually, because there's a place. It's a chain place. We've been there once before, but actually it was quite good the last time we were there, which was 3 years ago. I can't remember what it's called.
I can't remember either. I have to look it up.
But it's just down the street from us. And we went for dinner on Monday night we ate here. We were so tired that we went to Marks and Spencer's and we got a couple of sandwiches and picked up a few other things and ate in the room and then basically passed out.
Yeah.
And then on Tuesday...
Maybe Tuesday was Brick Lane.
Maybe Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, no. Monday we went to we did a couple of cheesy tourist attractions.
Oh, right.
It was at London Dungeon, which was okay, and which is sort of a tourist attraction. Supposedly they had 2 rides on it. One of the rides was broken, so. And then we went to Madame Tussauds and walked around there, but that was okay. But I'm not really into. Everybody's posing with the wax figures of the stars, and some of them were good, some of them were.
But everybody wants their picture taken with a wax star. I mean.
I could care less.
I thought
the only thing that I thought was interesting is seeing what the actual size of the figures were.
Yeah, Colin Firth is like
very tall. Yeah,
didn't know he was so tall. But I did get Walter to take my picture with the wax figure of Shakespeare. I mean, after all, I was an English teacher. I was an English teacher. One of the reasons was because I love Shakespeare, so had to happen. But he didn't look like he was amused with me in it, though. But it was different, and they had some real cheesy parts in the Madame Tussauds, like this thing about the superheroes that was sort of a 4D movie thing, so they like spritzed water on you at some point, was Hulk, Incredible Hulk sweat, I don't know, or something like that. Great for the kids. Kids loved it, but
that was it. That Brick Lane was the next day we went.
Yeah, Tuesday we went to that Brick Lane, and we just wander all over the place. And
today we went to Harrods and Selfridges. And walked around Soho a bit, went to Chinatown, and went to the National Portrait Gallery.
Yeah, I went to National Portrait Gallery and who knows where we'll go tomorrow. But yesterday, we went on the Eurostar to Paris. We had the tickets already booked, and Walter had booked them for 7 o'clock in the morning. Well, we were up at 4:30 in the morning, actually earlier than that, because neither one of us really slept that well that night, because I had both our phones set, our watches set, and I put in for a wake-up call at 4:30 because I was so afraid that we would miss our train. And you're supposed to be there a minimum of an hour before you get on, because you have to go through security, customs, all that kind of stuff. And we had to take, we were going to take the tube, and we timed it the day before that. No, that's what we also did on the Tuesday, wasn't it?
Yeah, we timed how long it would take to get there. It would be about half an hour from where we're staying to get to King's Court.
Yeah, so we had it all timed. So we get up. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I did sleep a little, but not much. And I said, well, it's 4 o'clock. I'm getting up. So I got up, showered, dressed, and everything. Then Walter got up, and we're sitting here, and it's like 4:30. Then at that point, 20 to 5, and he thought the first tube train started at 5 o'clock. Well, he was right, but at the far end of the track. The one that we needed to get on didn't come until 5:40. So we decided to take a taxi instead, which in some ways probably worked out better.
Yeah, because we got there about half an hour earlier than we needed to. And actually, it was good because we got through the gates first, and we were able to grab a coffee while we were there and something to eat.
Muffin, yeah.
A muffin. And that was good because the cafe was run by French in the San Pancras station. And they are so
painful slow. And the ironic part is they had a sign saying the fastest food
I can't remember. Yeah.
in St.
Pancras
Pancras or something. It was something like that.
It was just painfully slow.
It was just painfully slow. So I'm glad we had lots of time because it didn't matter. Now the Eurostar is the fast speed train that goes through the Channel and direct to Paris from London. It takes about how long?
2 hours and 15 minutes.
2 hours and 15 minutes. Yeah.
From starting from London to Paris, was it Gare du Nord, which is the north.
It's the train station
In Paris.
And it goes what? It's supposed. You said the top
Well,
speed
I
is
said
supposed
top
to be.
speed according to their rating was 347 kilometers per hour, but on the way there for some reason they had a problem with their system, so it didn't show you all the stuff on the screen that was supposed to. But on the way back, the top speed that it displayed was 296 kilometers an hour.
Yeah. So actually, it's very comfortable terrain, and you're there in no time flat, and it's very convenient. And then we bought. Actually, you went up to the.
I went to the. They have a car that has the. That has sort of like I forget what they call it, a concession stand. Food and stuff like that. Went to the car just after the train started in London, and you can get your subway tickets there, or your Metro pass. What they call Metro in Paris tickets. There you can get 10 tickets for £14 or something like that, which is more expensive than what you get in France, but it's more convenient. You get off the train and you have the tickets, right? So when I got to the cart, I was third in line, and the woman behind the counter was painfully slow, to the point that
was she French too?
2 Americans, I think, were ahead of me, and they were getting a bottle of water each and a sandwich each, and then the guy ahead of me, we were waiting. The guy ahead of me says, "Well, I better get an extra bottle because I'm not coming back here." And I said, if she moves any slower, we'll be in Paris.
Yeah. So anyways, once we got, and Walter picked up the tickets we got a booklet of 10 subway Metro passes.
Yeah, I just said that, yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, fine. I was busy reading this. But anyways, we only used 4 of them.
Yeah, there's 10 tickets, and we ended up only using 4.
We should have given them to somebody.
Yeah, actually.
We should have just handed them some. Of course, the French people were pissing me off that day, so if it hadn't been, maybe if it was somebody who wasn't French, I would give it to them. I'm telling you, we've been to Paris before a couple of times in our life. We haven't been there in many, many years. 13 years, did we figure?
Well, 2004 was the last time
it was 2004. Oh, well, that's not 13 years. That's only, let's see, carry the one.
That's 13 years.
That's 13 years, yeah. Okay, how time flies when you're old. So, yeah, and we weren't there we just wanted to wander around. We went to d'Orsay, which is we'd been there once before, 13 years, well, actually, more than 13 years ago.
We went there in 93. 94, yeah.
One time in 93, the first time we ever went, and we went to d'Orsay, and that was on an organized trip.
Yeah, but it was an organized tour, and it went on for days, and we sort of tuned out the tour guide at the time after a while.
So we spent a few hours at the d'Orsay, and that was interesting. Of course, we went over and walked around and looked at the Eiffel Tower. We'd been up it before. We weren't going up it again. We went to the Modern Art Museum. That was a little bit of a... Well, the jewelry, they had a special, we paid for that. It was a special display called Medusa. It was about jewelry and as art. And it was kind of interesting, the pieces we saw and things like that. But really, that whole museum in itself, I don't know where the permanent collection was because we couldn't find it.
Find it, so.
So, and in, okay, it's not that we can't read French. We can to a point if we have to, but really I find that the French are not very helpful. This one woman is, as we're going into this one gallery, I had my bag over my shoulder and the whole bit. We'd already gone through security and all that stuff, and they x-rayed it and strip searched us and cavity explored, whatever, for that. But she's trying to say something to me in French. I have no idea, but she's patting my pack, my bag and this, and I had my coat hanging over it. I guess the gist of it was she wanted me to put the strap over my shoulder this way, not just off my shoulder, wanted me to hold the bag in front of me. Now maybe she was afraid that I was going to knock into the art, although it was all hanging on the walls and I wasn't like swinging it around. But anyways, and I said to her, she was getting me a little flustered because I really wasn't sure what it was she wanted. And then finally I got the point and I said, oh, oui. And as soon as I got in, I put it all back to the way it was before. So, oui on you, kind of a thing. But, I've come to the conclusion, well, I've thought of this a long time, I don't like the French. Sorry. I used to criticize Americans because Americans always seem to have a hate on for the French. And being a Canadian, and half our country, well, not half our country, but, one of our major provinces is French. We have a history of being established by the French and the English. So, we're a bilingual country, give or take. That kind of stuff. But, no, I think it's the one thing I can really agree with Americans. The French are just the French. Everything is poo-poo, poo this, poo-poo that. They hate, I'll say one thing for the French, they hate everyone equally, including each other, it seems. They are not a nice people, they're not a friendly people. Now, mind you, it's Paris, okay? It's a big city. Big cities anywhere in the world are not known to being warm, but when you compare, it's like a tale of two cities. When you compare London with Paris, when you did it this way that we did it, I would much rather be in London than in Paris. The people in London are, okay, they don't go out of their way to be absolutely friendly, hello, come on over and we'll have tea, kind of a thing, and I wouldn't expect that. But they're polite. They're very civilized on the tube, even when in the rush hour. The French, they just schmuck it all in there, and they're everywhere, and they're fighting for seats, and they're just rude. There's just no two ways about it. They're just rude. So, I said to Walter, yeah, London's gone way up on my scale of the cities I love in the world.
It's interesting to see because normally if you go on travel, you don't get a chance to see both cities in the same group. Now maybe we're a little bit biased because we've been here a few more times and gotten a little bit more at ease and comfortable with being here. So, but I don't know. Paris is not.
I'm not going to run back to it. I mean, no. Paris is nice to go to see. I mean,
see all the sights and everything else and that. But I don't know if I go run back and just no. Like on this trip here, we've been to London before and we've seen all the monuments and everything. So what else do you go to see a city for? But it's nice to walk around and just
absorb.
Basically.
And just see, because there's so many different areas in London, and they each have their own personality and their own character, and it's really nice to see them. Well, let me catch up here on some comments. Hayes says, welcome to the rainy UK. Hope the weather improves here for you during your stay. It matters not.
I don't know. We got used to it all summer in Canada.
Yeah. It's just
like unusual. We had an unusual summer where it rained every day. So.
So, you don't come to England for the weather.
Well, you don't come here for sunny weather.
No.
So.
Evie says, I can see it's almost like back at home, kind of. You all didn't forget about wine and snacks for the live stream. Of course we wouldn't forget that, Evie. It's Friday night. It's Champagne Fridays with Stephen and Walter. And Angelica says, how did you like it? Now, I'm not sure. I think she means Paris or the Euro train, but we've already answered that question.
Right.
And she also says, I always travel by train when I visit my mom in south of England. So she's talking about the train. The train was fine. That Eurostar, very efficient, how they do everything.
I liked actually, of the two places, I thought that the English side was much nicer. The San Pancras
Yes.
station to get onto the Eurostar was much nicer than what Paris had to offer.
Yeah, the Paris one is like a balcony cattle crawl kind of thing.
Yeah, it's not.
I mean, it's not horrible.
It wasn't terrible, but I thought the English side was much nicer. The terminal was much nicer.
And then, let's see. Catherine says, my boyfriend says that Paris is the only part of France that treats you awfully. And that could be very true, Catherine.
Yeah, I mean, we've been to other areas in France too, and actually they aren't as bad as Paris, but...
Like I said, it may be all part of that city kind of mentality. I mean, you come to Ontario and you come to Toronto, which is the biggest city in Canada, and the capital of our province and the whole bit. I'm sure people can have bad experiences there too with the people, because Toronto people are not the friendliest people in the world either. We're just used to them. So, so I guess. Ian wants to know, have you found any great art shops?
Actually, we haven't really hit those much yet.
No.
I've got a list of them, but we haven't really
gotten to them yet.
really gotten to that stage
That's to come yet. I mean, we're here until next Wednesday. So, well, Tuesday. Wednesday we fly back home. So we got a few days yet. He also says it was not for the French. The USA would still be part of the UK. Yeah, probably. But do you really want them? Well, never mind. That's a topic for another time. B and D say hi for B and D. D just got home for work. Okay, hi B and D. Okay, so let's see. So we survived the Paris thing. It was interesting to do. I'm glad we did it. Once again, we never had a decent meal in Paris. Every time we've been, I don't know, it's just our luck, I guess, but all this crap about French cooking, I've yet to see it. Well, no, okay, in the art gallery, in D'Orsay, we had lunch there.
We had lunch there, and it was very good.
We had the quiche Lorraine, and it was actually good. Yeah. It was good, yeah, so, and Angelique says that's what I think, too. It's probably my comment about the Americans. But anyways, or with French, the Americans. But anyway, so that's what we've been doing. What else? Have I bought anything? Well, we went to Harrods today and to Selfridges.
You have to know the way we travel. We seem to travel all over the place, but we very rarely buy any souvenirs to bring home.
Well, we did that years ago.
We're not real big heavy-duty clothes shoppers, so...
No. We look to see what the fashion trends are over here and whatnot, but they're not that much different from home. So, but we did go to Harrods and looked around there. We always like to go into the technology part and look at, what they've got for TVs and stereos, and they do have.
And that's pretty much the same as what we have. But the only thing is we don't have any. We don't really have too many high-end department stores left in Canada.
Yeah.
Now that especially, I think Sears are going to liquidate.
Yeah.
Not that that's a high-end store.
No, that's not a high-end store.
But we don't have as big of high-end stores in Canada like Harrods or something. So it's kind of interesting to walk around and see what they've got here.
Yeah, and then we went to Selfridges. And by the way, Selfridges is owned by a Canadian company, Loblaws. Weston is the name of the family. So they actually own Selfridges. So it's a Canadian-owned product or place. I thought maybe I should go up to them, buy something, say, can I have the Canadian discount, please? Because we own you. But no, I didn't. The only thing I bought at Selfridges was I bought a box of, let me get it. I bought a box of
Turkish Delight.
Turkish Delight. Now, if you don't know what Turkish Delight is, it's a very old confectionery. They made it. It comes from Turkey, from the Middle East. It's basically a gelatin-like substance. It's a sweet. Traditionally it was made with rose water. My thing flipped here. It's traditionally made with rose water, and it's covered in powdered sugar and that kind of thing. Well, when I was a little kid, there was some place I used to go shopping with my grandmother, and she would buy me some Turkish Delight. And it may be because my brain is now at that 60-year level, but looking back in the past, in my day, the stuff tasted a lot better than it does today. And I'm always on the pursuit of real Turkish Delight. this isn't real. It's, well, as Walter says, they make it now with gelatin. So the consistency of it isn't what I remember. I did try to make it once myself. Didn't have a lot of luck with that. But I bought some anyways. This is in 3 flavors. It's okay, but basically it's like eating really thick Jello with
Very sweet.
very sweet with a lot of icing sugar on it, powdered sugar on it, top of it. But anyways, that's all I bought it at Selfridges. In fact, have I bought anything else here? Oh, in one of the museums we were in, I bought an ephemera pack of stuff about suffragettes, you know, from the turn of the century in England when women were trying to get the vote and the whole bit. And it looked like an interesting collection of things that I can probably do an art journal page with or something. So I picked that up. That's all I bought so far. And,
I haven't bought anything.
and we probably won't buy that much anyways, because, you know, most of the stuff we can buy here, we can get there. So at home.
Yeah, and why lug it with us?
Yeah, let's see what else we got here. Angelica says, I really like the politeness of the English. Yes, they are. They say, excuse me, you know, I'm sorry, that kind of thing. And Ian says, Curry's is a good tech shop and Argos. Okay, so we might have to look around for those. Angelica says, have you been to Leeds or is that still on your agenda?
No, it never was on our agenda.
No, it was never on our agenda, actually. It's too far away. It's about 2.5 hours away by train or whatever. And I had just mentioned it. I'd sent a note to Mike Deacon way back when we were planning this trip. On the off chance, because if you don't ask, you don't know, that maybe he would be in London or something, at doing something or other, you know, and I could meet him in person. Because I do talk to him occasionally on Facebook. But no such luck. And
I don't want to spend a whole day going.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We didn't want to spend a whole day there because I would have liked to have gone to Art from the Heart. You know, it's Deanne Reevely's shop there, and I love her stuff and everything. But you know, no such luck. And culture. Oh, and Ian says he's near Leeds, Yorkshire, where the real culture is. He says. And Evie says, please, little Ephraim Pack Hall. Please.
Who knows? Maybe we'll come back to England again and drive around or something.
Yeah,
like
I
that.
think Evie means she wants to see the ephemera pack. I'll do a video. When I get home, I'll do a video of it, and anything else that I've bought when I'm over here, I'll do a little haul thing. Angelica says, Ian, I love Yorkshire Dales. Okay. And Kimberly says, I agree. Turkish Delight did taste better back in the day. It's pretty awful nowadays, yeah. And you want to know something, Kimberly? I bought some Turkish Delight in Turkey when we were there. How many years ago was that? I don't know. Well, in Istanbul. And guess what? It wasn't any better than the stuff I bought today.
that was 2008.
In fact, it was probably worse. Have you been, Baze Jones says, have you been to any of the craft shops? Not yet. Closest we came in, we were in Soho this afternoon, and we went into an art supply store there, but it was just your regular art supply store. So, no, I haven't been any place yet, but Walter's got a list of things, as he mentioned before, places that are potential, so we will probably hit those at some point in time. Catherine says, are you saving little pamphlets and papers for mixed media? Actually, I am not. And the reason I am not is because I used to do that on every trip I went to, and I never really used them up. Now, if I collect something that is unique or different, or get something, yeah, I'll hang on to that.
I think if we get something that's interesting looking, we probably.
Yeah, I'm being very selective with the pictures this time. I didn't bring my camera. I only brought my cell phone. Okay. I debate it. My camera takes better pictures, although this takes pretty good pictures. And I thought, nope, I'm going to do everything with my iPhone this time. And when I print out the pictures, I'm just going to print them out in small format size. I'm not going to do a scrapbook because I've got a couple of scrapbooks about London already that from past trips. I'm going to just print them out, store them, and I'm going to use them for my junk journals, or I might use them as stuff for art journal pages or mixed media, things like that. I'm not going to be worried about, trying to document this trip. In fact, we're documenting this trip right now as we talk to you about it, in a sense. So that's something we've never done before, except with
No.
Australia. Our very first, and that wasn't a live one, and that's a year ago. So that's what I'm planning with that. Evie says, okay, that sounds like a deal, Stephen. Thanks. That's about showing the hall. Ian says, get some fries, Turkish Delight. That's a nice one. Yes, I know what you're talking about. And we can get that sometimes in our own country. That's the one that's covered in chocolate. Now, that's not really Turkish Delight, but it's good. And I really like it. And fries is the best one. Because they're Cadbury, aren't they? Or related to Cadbury? How's that work? There's something there.
It used to be Cadbury Fry, but I don't know if that still exists or not.
But that's one that seems to be very difficult to get in Canada. You can get it sometimes.
You can get it at Walmart.
Yeah, we got it at Walmart once. Go figure. But I do like it. But it's not real Turkish Delight. Kimberly says, I'm happy you guys are doing a live show. It's so cool. Well, thanks, Kimberly. Yeah, well, I wanted to try this because once I figured out our speed, and it seems to be working pretty good. It's almost like being at home, so that's okay. And Ian says, no, it's not, meaning it's not really Turkish Delight. I assume that's what he means from that. But yeah, so what else have we got planned? Well, we said tonight we're going out for dinner, probably Indian. We love Indian. Actually, we went to a pub around the corner from where we're staying. What night was that? Tuesday night. Wednesday night. Wednesday night, Tuesday night. My days are trying to run together.
Wait a minute. Tuesday night we didn't. We fell asleep. We had a sandwich. So it was Wednesday night.
What do we have Monday night? Oh, no, Tuesday night. We were here tonight. Yeah, okay.
No, well, Monday night we were on a plane.
That's right. Okay. I'm so mixed up. Whatever. Yeah, so we went to a pub around the corner. And the place was packed, but we sat up sort of at actually a couple of bar stools, which we lucked out, suddenly became vacant. We sat up there and had a beer while we waited for a table. They got us a table. And this place was advertising, really, they were into the pie and ale kind of stuff. So I had the one that had it was a curried chicken. It was
chicken madras?
Yeah, chicken madras. That was really quite good. And what you have?
I had the beef one.
Yeah,
because I was afraid. I like spicy. I like spicy food, but it doesn't like me, so it can cause me a problem the next day. So since we were on the Eurostar, I didn't.
Oh, that could have been bad.
I know.
Oh my God. Ooh, talk about the French poo poo. That would be poo poo Walter.
So I have to be careful what I eat.
Yeah, but I had it was quite good. In fact, today for lunch we were in Soho.
Yeah.
And we went to a place.
Well, no, we weren't actually in Soho. We were close to Soho.
Oh. Well, we went to some place that we went upstairs to eat.
It was a pub.
It was pub for lunch. It was a late lunch. It was around 2:00-ish or something like that. And I had a pie there too. I had their beef and shallot pie that was done in some kind of beer. It was actually quite good, too. In fact, we had dessert there. We shared a blue, what was it, a blue...
No, it was a blackberry...
Blackberry
and apple cobbler.
It was quite nice, and with a little cream. They could have had ice cream or custard with custard. So I ordered it with custard because I like custard. And I like ice cream, too, but, in England, it just seems to me that it's probably more appropriate to have it with custard than it is with ice cream. I don't know. So we had that. It was nice for that. So that's why we're not rushing right out too early for dinner right now, because we ate around 2:30. So, highlights from the Blue Jays. Who cares? So what else is being said here? Hi, came in late. Virginia says, what restaurants are you going to? Don't know.
Not sure yet.
No. We know this one we're going to tonight is a chain, and we can't remember the name of it. It's Indian food. But, we love Indian food, even in spite of the effect it has on him at times. But this place we went to last time we were here, and we're sure it's still there, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure it's still there.
It's just down the street, so we'll see.
Actually, I haven't been down that part of the street yet.
No, that's right. We haven't. Ian says chicken passata or chicken tikka masala, lovely. Yep, or butter chicken, which is close to tikka masala. But I like all Indian food. Kimberly says blackberry and apple cobbler sounds so good. It was. Dorothy says hi guys. Sorry I'm late. It's okay, Dorothy. We're early. Hay says scary toilets in France. I was traumatized as a child in Bologna by the hole in the ground. Yeah.
No, well, we didn't have that problem.
Well, we didn't have that problem this time.
No. The only times we've had the hole in the ground was
Italy?
No. Well, we had that one in Italy, but then in China.
Oh, China, yeah.
China, everything's all on the ground.
I'm very picky about bathrooms. Public bathrooms. I'm like a camel. I can hold it for days until I get to.
Yeah, he hates going to the bathroom. I don't need.
I don't go to the bathroom on the plane. No. And there's a reason why. Those airplane bathrooms are so tiny, and I'm claustrophobic, that it takes me all my time if I go in there that I panic in them. I have to get a real grip to do that. Even when we went to Australia, and that flight was...
Yeah, I remember. I would go to the bathroom about 10 times.
I did go to the bathroom. I only went once, and what was it, 16 hours?
Yeah.
Yep. On that one. Like, I can hold it for a long time in there. So, until, I just don't like them. In public washrooms, I'm very picky. Okay, this might be too much information, but I'll tell you a story, okay? It is a funny story. It was not a funny story at the time, but it has to do with my phobia about public washrooms, okay? Especially public toilets that are men only, which most of them are, like men, which, well, you know what I mean. When I was a little kid, when I started school, in kindergarten, the teacher would line us all up and take us down to go to the washroom. The very first time I'd ever been in a public washroom was in a school. Up until that point in time, I had never been in a public washroom. So, and also by myself. Well, when I went into this washroom by myself, there were older boys in there at the time. Now, older boys, I was in kindergarten, they might have been grade 3, maybe, but to me they seemed like they were probably, married and had 3 kids of their own. I saw these big things on the wall. I'd never seen one of those before. Didn't know what they were, but I noticed that other boys were standing up in front of them and going to the bathroom in them. So I figured that's where you go to the bathroom. So I did what I did when I was at home. I pulled my little pants with a little stretchy waistband and a little bit, right down to my little ankles, and away I went. And the boys made fun of me. They laughed. And it sort of traumatized me. In those days, in 1960... 62, yeah. That was a word that didn't exist in the language. Nobody was traumatized then. They just slapped you around and you got over it. So, I had a problem for many, many years when I was a little kid. Because I wouldn't go to public washrooms, and I couldn't always hold it. I got good at holding it. I became a bit of a pant wetter as well. And to this day, I still have a phobia about men's washrooms are very uncivilized, okay? I don't know if the ladies understand this, but why is it that women get individual cubicles? Men have these white porcelain things they're supposed to just whip it all out and let it go and no one's going to say anything. There are some that are hideous. They're open troughs. And you stand there in them.
I don't have a problem
like
with that.
Cattle. Well, good for you. I think that's just uncivilized. I think the day when they finally realize that transgendered people should have the right to go to whatever bathroom that they wish to go in, and that's the day when they'll start making washrooms maybe unisex, but they'll all be enclosed little cubicles. And I don't have a problem with that. I think that's much
and
more
then they'll end up
civilized.
having lineups like women have.
I can wait in a lineup for it. So I just think it's so uncivilized, the whole business of public washrooms. I don't know. Whatever. It's just a thing. So what am I getting here? Okay, so Evie says those used to be the old toilets. They used to have them in Italy, France, Spain, and so on. But I think they've changed that now, meaning the hole in the ground. And Dorothy says, Hayes, I was disgusted on my first visit to Paris in 1981. And Hayes says, yeah, to be fair, it was a fair few years ago when I was a child. Hayes says, yep, 80s is about the time of my trauma. Hayes also says, I feel for men having to use those urinals. Even the word sounds vile. And they stink. And the one rule, never eat the mint. I don't know if you will get that or not, but think about it. Let's see. Virginia says, my hubby hates them as well. He waits on a stall. Yep, I am the same way. And you know, there is something about your masculinity, about waiting for a stall, that may come into question. But there are certain rules in men's washrooms that you have to learn at an early age. 1, always look straight ahead if you're using urinal. 2, never carry on a conversation with the person next to you. 3, if you're going to use your phone, make sure it's a hand-free one, or you've got headphones set with it. And 4, make sure you're completely done before you turn around, because you'll drown the people beside you. Those are the basic rules of urinal use. Ian says, no waiting to go. I can't wait. Yeah, I can hold her for a long time. A long time. Okay, I may start to gurgle a little bit, but I can hold her. There's no way. It's called not breaking the seal. I had a friend once tell me that about beer. It was a woman. She said, okay, you can hold as much beer as you can possibly take in, as long as you don't break the seal. And she meant that you don't go to the bathroom. Because once you've gone to the bathroom, as you drink, you'll have to keep going to the bathroom again. And you know, she's kind of right about that. So anyways, enough about bathrooms. Katie O'Party says, hello, Stephen and Walter. Finally made it to a live stream. Yay, Katie. Yeah, we're earlier. And Kimberly says, my worst potty experience was in the good old U.S. Army boot camp. It was a potty house with back-to-back seats. The worst. Oh my God, just kill me now. I would put up with a small little bathroom on an airplane before I could do that. Oh, there's nothing worse. Certain things in a person's life need to be kept private. Yeah, as far as I'm concerned. Nope, there's no sharing. Cindy says, oh, so got it. She got the mint thing. And Ian says, but you will be bladed. Laugh out loud. I'm not sure what you mean, Ian, by that. But anyways, yeah. So, what else do you want to know about? Oh, we've broken our record. See, earlier time in the day, I think. 21. Yay. 21 live at 1. Oh, one just died. Oh, it's only 20 now. Okay, 4 likes. Yay, people. More likes, more likes. Up to 5 likes. Come on, people. Let's get those likes up there. I don't know what they do, but 6. Great. Thank you. Oh, yeah. I hear other people on YouTube always going, like me a lot. So, what else? What do we got happening? What's going on here? Love British television. We saw this show last night. We didn't watch it all the way through because we were too tired, but it turned out it was late at night. They were showing naked men, their faces covered, live. They weren't like pictures. They were naked men, complete frontal nudity. And a woman was standing there, and she's supposed to pick her date or something according to what she thought the person might be like because of the way their body looked. Oh my God! Well, yeah, I found it kind of amusing. I'd watch it if it came on TV in our world, but there's no way it would ever come on North American television. It's a totally different attitude in England and in Europe about that kind of stuff whatsoever. And then they showed their faces, and each one that got disqualified comes out, stark naked, walks over to the woman, gives her a big hug. Okay, he is still naked, standing there, and they're making comments about him. Well, thanks for, doing this and whatnot. But they all had ugly faces. Actually, none of them had really great bodies either. But I mean, I thought, okay, kiss. And as the guys, they were walking off, they make comments about their rear end. Ooh, that's kind of a cute bum he's got. Well, geez, I guess you might as well. You saw everything else. Dorothy says, thumbs up, everyone. Oh, 14 like. Whoa, we're up to 24. Yes. Um, there are two of us watching in here. That's Baz Joan. Think the program is on channel. There are two of us watching in here. Think the program is on channel 4. Oh, okay.
I think it was Channel 4.
Yeah. Well, they don't have a lot of channels. Well, they have like what one BBC One, BBC Two, or something like that.
We don't have a lot on here, but actually, it's not a bad selection.
No, they have a channel that's called Craft and Create. Now, I've seen this on YouTube, and I have seen it. They have a website, and you can go to it, and it's like one of those home shopping club things on TV, but it's all for craft stuff. And right now, the one I've watched the last couple of days, they've been really flaunting the Brothers Scan and Cut. And the Brothers Scan and Cut, I have one of those. If you don't know what it is, it's another type of electronic cutting machine. But they're showing accessories for it that we can't get in North America.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't get it. And the ironic part is, their head office is in Canada.
Well, I think they have a head office in every...
Oh, do they? Yeah. Well, they are Chinese made or Japanese made. I'm not sure, so how that goes. But I did see something really interesting, though. They were using a pen holder with one of those glue pens, and they fitted into that. Now, they had their own glue pen, but I think, I'm going to try when I get home, because I've got universal pen holders for my brother's Scan and Cut and for my Cricut, and I've got a glue pen, and I know where I can get more of them. I'm going to try it, but what they were doing was they were doing their design as if it was being drawn out, but with the glue, and then they were putting the foil on top of it, varnishing it well. They actually had a special varnishing tool that the machine would do that for you, but you could just varnish it yourself with a bone folder or whatever, and peeling it off, and it all foiled it in the whole bit. And I thought, I think I can do that without their stuff. So I'm going to try it. If it works, I'll make a video about it. Let's see, what do we got here? Oh my God, you crack me up. Crack me up, not crap me up. I couldn't stop laughing. That's from Rose. Catherine says, 2 watchers here too. Katie O'Party says, sorry if I missed it earlier, but have you visited any craft shops yet? Not really, not yet. We have a list. We're not sure how much of a craft shop they really are. They sound like they be more like card shops, art places, but we're going to check out a few when we get a chance, and we'll see what happens, and I'll talk all about that on my vlog. Now, speaking of my next vlog, which is on Monday, I am going to try to do that vlog. It won't be live. I'll pre-record it and I'll upload it, and I think I won't have any problem with that. So, watch for the vlog on Monday. Around the usual time when it comes up. Well, it might be earlier because it'll be later here, but whatever. Time travel. So I am going to try, and I'll talk about whatever we have found then. Ian says 5 terrestrial channels, but lots of digital TV too. Kimberly says, I used to watch that show before I moved out the U.S., Craft and Create, not the Naked Men show. It's really up in the air which one's better. I'm not sure. Was it Craft and Create or Huchana TV? No, it was Craft and Create. I know the one you're talking about, the Huchana. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, but I've heard about it and I have seen it. You can go on YouTube and see some of it too on there, and there's a website for them as well. But that wasn't the channel that it was. It was actually Craft and Create. And I believe they have a US channel too, as well as the British one. And Baz Jones says, I have not watched the program, but it has raised discussion on the radio. I'm assuming she means the one with the naked guys. Yeah, I could see it being somewhat controversial, and they'd never show anything like that on the CBC in Canada. Oh, God, no.
No.
Or American television. That wouldn't happen. Oh, talk about prudes. Which, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It was quite amusing.
Generally, the U.S. Mainstream stations get a lot of problems with the evangelical group of people.
Oh yeah, the Bible thumpers out there would be going, sorry if that offends anybody, but too bad. Yeah, they wouldn't want that. Oh my God. Well, why? God made man and woman naked. So, I don't know. Bez Jones says, Blade Runner stamps is good for stamps, my daughter says. Yeah, that's one on your
that's
list.
one on my list. Yeah, we haven't.
That one we have to go to for sure to check it out. Although I don't need any more rubber stamps, but you know, you saw my one. Well, you saw my one vlog that I made talking about those 2 rubber stamps I bought at that place up in Aurelia. You know, and I said didn't need more rubber stamps, but you find something that's really cool, you know. Katie O'Pear says, "Oh, geez, the U.S. is freaked out by a nipple." Oh, that's for sure. Yes.
Unless, I mean, the only things that get away with it are the specialty stations in the U.S. like HBO and
HBO and
you know, AMC and like
Netflix.
The non what do you call it? The
non-network.
Non-network like NBC, CBS, ABC can't play anything like that, right? So because a few years ago they had a show called the Playboy Club or something, and or something like that. And it had to do with Playboy clubs, and it only had about 3 episodes, and it was shut down.
Yeah,
and they didn't show any nudity on it.
No, that's Joan. Think of all the space in your suitcase, Stephen. Yeah, and you want to know something? I traveled extremely light this time.
He actually did.
And actually, I probably still got away with a little less than that.
Because often what ends up he packs his suitcase, it's overweight. Mine's usually like 23 pounds, and I can take 50.
And yours was still lighter than mine this time.
And then he ends up throwing half his stuff in my suitcase.
Of course, I had a lot of electronics in there. Like all of this, I brought my microphone the whole bit to do this. Not that that takes up a lot of room or a lot of weight, but nope, I'm practicing for Australia. Because my plan is I'm packing, although we'll be gone for almost 5 weeks, I'm only packing for 1 week. Because almost every place that we'll be staying for any length of time, the place that we have arranged to have has a washer and a dryer in it. So I'm just going to do laundry with it all. Ian says, I'm not sure how you say that. Hochanda is channel 85.
Oh. I don't think we get that.
And Katie says, Skinamax, laugh out loud. Yeah. Walter, are you feeling retired yet?
No, I'm on vacation. It still feels like vacation. Actually, sort of semi feels retired because I'm not really thinking about work. So
I think it'll probably kick in a little bit more when we get back on this trip, and you have the thought, I don't have to go back.
Yeah, because on previous trips, I book a few extra days after a day or two after I get back, and then have to go back to work. And well, obviously this time I don't have to do that. So
yeah. So
plus I didn't have to worry about when I booked the vacation about what day we were leaving on, what day we were coming back, and how that worked into my work schedule.
Well, Catherine says, I really enjoyed this today. I will catch up on what I missed, but we are off to see the new Jackie Chan movie. Okay, Catherine, thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the movie. And Katie says, I hear you, Walter. Took several months to feel retired for me. Yeah, it kicked in for me. It took me 2 years to get used to it, basically.
However, I already have my invite for the retirement luncheon in November.
Yeah, he's real excited about that.
There's a group of retirees. Actually, I'm more interested in seeing the retirees because they're people I haven't seen for a while.
Yeah, well, I guess that'll be fun. Yeah, you go have your lunch. Leave me at home all by myself. I don't care. I'm not upset. No. Whatever. Okay. Anything else interesting so far? Now our room has got a little kitchenette kind of thing in it. It's a very tiny room, but we knew that coming into it, so that's not a problem.
Actually, it's the second time we've stayed here, and I liked it the first time, so it was kind of a no-brainer to book it again. So
it has a little kitchenette in it behind, looks like a closet. You open it up, it's got a sink, faucet, everything, but it's got a tea kettle. It has an espresso coffee maker, which actually, it was the first time we stayed in this hotel that we actually used an espresso, and when we went home we bought one. Now we own 2. of them because we've got the one that takes the little pods, and then our newest one takes bigger pods. Like it'll make a full cut as opposed to just a demi-tasse. This one takes the small ones, but you can get a full cup out if you hit the button several times with it. And it has some plates and some wine glasses, like you can see. It has these wine glasses. It has a little fridge.
And a microwave.
And a microwave. So what we do in the morning is we stock up on Marks and Spencer's makes the best cheese scones or scones, however you want to say that. And so we just pick up some of those, and we got a little jar of peanut butter and a little jar of jam. And that's what we have in the morning before we go out for brekkie, and that works pretty good with that too. We used to, when we traveled, we used to go out and we'd have brekkie. We'd have lunch. We'd have dinner.
Get a hotel with
snacks.
breakfast or something like this. This particular hotel, it's just an older home, I guess, that they've converted into a hotel. And they don't have any facilities for restaurant facilities. So you can get, there's a coffee shop that will bring in breakfast for you, but they charge you quite a bit.
Well, they charge £8 50 pence for cornflakes, some fruit, I think, and you get a selection of things like you can get some toast, or you can get a bagel, or you can get a muffin, or a croissant, or something like that. So, well, anytime you get like food in a hotel room anywhere in the world for room service, it's always going to cost you. But we find this is just enough, and then we don't eat until later in the afternoon. We don't eat till later at night as well. And there are some nights on some trips that we're on where we're just too tired, or we just pick up something and bring it back to the room. Like, as they call it here in London, takeaway. As we call it in North America, take out. Or whatever with it. But let's see, what do we got here? Cindy says you seem to be more relaxed. And Baz Joan says, Debbie wants to know what you're eating. Right now, at this point, we are eating cheese. Edam cheese and some crackers of some sort. Came from Marks and Spencer's as well. And of course, champagne. Well,
or Prosecco.
Yeah, Marks and Spencer's Prosecco. Actually, it's not too bad with it. I really miss the Marks and Spencer's at home. Didn't really appreciate it when we had it. Dorothy says, how's your hotel? Well, we were talking about that earlier, but it's very nice. Okay, it's not high end, it's not low end. It's very comfortable.
It's extremely clean.
Extremely clean, and of course, you know we're being very careful about the bed bug situation. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, check one of our live videos, I think 2 back or whatever. Now Walter's paranoid about bugs, you know, the kind of thing. So we don't put the suitcases on the bed when we came in at first, and we'll be very cautious about all that kind of stuff. But I
think we're okay.
I think we're okay here. There's been no signs of anything like that, so that's good. And actually, we didn't really have bed bugs before, as you know in that video. We just thought we might have. We still don't know what the marks came from that got on us, the bites. I still think it was spider bites, but I don't know. Ian says, no porridge oats? No, I can have that at home if I want. I like porridge. I love porridge.
I don't mind porridge.
Actually, I like the old-fashioned porridge that you actually put on the stove and you cook. My mother would make that when I was a little kid every blue moon for us. Then there was a stage I went through when I was much younger and on my own kind of a thing. I was eating that instant stuff, you know, from Quaker, which wasn't bad. You were taking some of that to work, weren't you?
Yeah, for a while, yeah.
But no, I have not had any porridge on this trip. Katie says, what's the best thing you've eaten so far? Well, I'd have to say the best thing I've had so far was probably that chicken mandris pie over at the pub. Though the quiche Lorraine was really good.
In Paris.
Paris. That was really good too. So it's kind of up in the air about the two of them. Right now, the way I feel about the French, I don't want to say anything nice about them. So, no, I'm going to go with the one in London. Baz Jones says M&S makes great cheese scones, especially good toasted. Yeah, we don't have a toaster. I thought the last time we were here we did, but maybe not. But I just heat them up in the microwave. But if I was at home, I would definitely put them in the toaster oven. No two ways about that. In fact, was one trip we were on, maybe that was Ireland. When we came back, I decided to try to make scones, and I did. And they were pretty good. But I just haven't made them again since. Maybe I should do it again. Well, I think I stopped making them because they were kind of high fat, high calories. Yeah. You have to think about that. Ian says, have a Yorkshire pudding for Sunday dinner. I love Yorkshire pudding.
He makes really good Yorkshire pudding.
I make damn good Yorkshire pudding, and I'll put any Englishman's Yorkshire pudding up against mine. It took years to perfect that. Actually, it didn't. It was my mother who came up with the recipe for it.
And his mother forgot how to make them.
And then my mother forgot how to make them, couldn't make them. She wonders, well, where did you get your recipe? Last time I gave her some. She says, oh, they're so nice. There's no big. And I says, it's your recipe, Mother. Go figure. But yes, I do love Yorkshire pudding, and we eat that anytime I do a roast beef, or as they call it here in London, a joint. That just sounds disgusting. I don't know. I'd rather call it roast beef than a joint. I make Yorkshire pudding with it as well. Virginia says, love Edam cheese. Edam. Is it Edam or Edam?
Edam.
I don't know. Eat 'em up.
Edam with an E in front of it.
Oh, loves that Edam cheese. Dorothy says she loves M&S food. Ian says that's the way to do it. And Ian also says, how very dare you? How very dare you?
Okay, about...
yeah, it's about what I was saying. Or maybe you're daring me, I don't know. But let's have the great Yorkshire pudding cook-off. Baz Jones says, my late husband was a Scot and made great Yorkshire puddings. Yeah. Well, you know, my parents had very good, well, my mother has very close friends that are English and Scottish, actually. The wife, she's Scots, and the husband was English, and she would make Yorkshire puddings, but hers were like little tiny hockey pucks. They were like this.
You see the ones he makes, they're monster.
I make monster ones. Actually, I make them big enough that you can actually, I don't know if they have it over here, probably do, but one of the pub foods over in Canada or in our area, they will often have a stuffed Yorkshire pudding. So what they do is they have these big Yorkshire puddings, and they stuff them with beef and, you know, like the inside of a meat pie kind of thing, minus the flour and that makes it all stick together, and piles of gravy, so like beef and mushroom, beef and onion, whatever, in top of it. I make those sometimes at home myself, too. Ian says, I'm a Yorkshire man and have them all the time. Yeah, they're good. And you know what else are good? If you got some that are left over, what I like to do is I put them cut them in half, put them in the toaster oven, lightly toast them, and put peanut butter on them. They're really good, like that. So, another use for Yorkshire pudding. But I haven't had any over here yet. Who knows, maybe Sunday night dinner, at the pub or something, have a roast beef dinner kind of a thing with that. Walter had fish and chips today, and I don't like fish. I like fish and chips, but I'm picky about the fish. In Canada, we can get fish and chips in some places, it's halibut. And I like halibut. Why? Because halibut doesn't taste like fish. I hate fish. I hate the smell of fish. I hate the feel of fish. I hate fish. But if it's made with halibut, I like it. But that's becoming more rare in our country too, to get it as halibut. It's either haddock, well, mostly haddock, I think.
No, it's cod.
In Canada?
Yeah, cod's the other alternative.
Yeah, I know it's the other alternative, but usually when you see
I've seen it here more in Britain.
Here's more cod.
Right.
Well, you had cod today.
I had cod today. But I'm a little more tolerant to fish than he is. I'm not a big fish person either, but I like fish and chips. So, and most people that like fish cringe at that because they say, "Oh, you're not having
that's
fish."
bastardized fish.
So, but actually, it was okay. It wasn't really fishy.
I tried a little piece
of it. Is fish.
Yeah.
It's fish.
I tried a little piece of it, and actually it was tasty. It wasn't too fishy at all. I think I could have eaten that. but I stuck with the beef pie instead.
I mean, I've had it here before where it's got skin on it, which I'm not really crazy about. So.
Ooh, that would gross me, right?
It was okay with the one time I had it, but I wasn't really thrilled with it.
And actually, his came with mushy peas, and I love mushy peas as well. And I didn't think you'd eat them. I thought I'd get them, but no.
Actually, they were really green, and I thought
they were really green.
I thought at first that they would taste weird, but actually, they tasted okay.
Well, if I remember last time we were here in London and something came with mushy peas, they were really green too. But when I think of mushy peas, I think of them they're kind of like more rotting.
More like canned mushy
Yeah, they're
peas,
more like
right?
canned peas. Actually, people might cringe at the idea of canned peas. I don't. I kind of like canned peas. I never buy them. I always buy frozen peas, or I especially love peas is one of my favorite vegetables. I will usually buy, like if I buy frozen peas, I like to get the ones that are like the little sweet peas, the little tiny ones and those kind. But mine did come with peas, but they weren't mushy.
Mm-hmm.
What do we got here? Oh, and Ian says, oh wait, I'm getting here. Can I hit it? Ian says Yorkshire pudding is traditionally a sweet. There's no sugar in it. Or at least not mine that I make. I didn't know that. I never thought of them as they're supposed to be a sweet at all. But then Katie says, you guys make me hungry. I had to warm up a hamburger. Ian says, you should have cod. Well, that's what Walter had. And then Baz John says, Yorkshire pudding, good cold with jam and cream. Yes, I would agree. It would probably be good like that. I've never had it with cream, but I have put jam on it. I've put cheese whiz on it. I've melted a cheese slice over the top of it. Oh yeah, probably a bastardized Yorkshire pudding, and probably some people are cringing at doing that kind of stuff with it, but it's good. I've actually, okay, you want to be grossed out? Ketchup. Warm it up, rip it up, dip it in ketchup like you would with a French fry, and chuck her down. That is good. That's real good, but everything's good with, okay.
It's toast with ketchup, so.
Yeah, that's from my father used to put ketchup on everything. And that's such an American thing to do. We're Canadian. But actually, I upgrade it. I'll use HP sauce with it, or keg sauce, with it. If keg's sauce is there's a restaurant chain that does a steakhouse, and they have their own sauce, and I love their sauce, and you can buy it in the grocery store with it too. But actually, anything with Yorkshire pudding is good. Bez John says, sea bass is good and certainly not too fishy. Yeah, went through a stage where I tried to like fish. Tried them all. Hate it. Can't eat it. Don't like it. My mother used to serve fish fairly often, like, well, once a week or so. We're not Catholic. In the house. And my father and my mother liked fish. But I did not. And on those nights when I was a kid and she'd make me eat this crap, and even those stupid, horrible, whatever they are, fish sticks. Oh, byproducts. Ground up what? Lips and a-holes from fish. Ooh,
No, that's hamburgers.
That's McDonald's.
That's McDonald's.
Lips and assholes, yeah. Ian says steak and ale pie. That's what I had for lunch today, Ian. It was called steak and ale pie, and it was quite good. Ian says, Barb's on now. Not sure what that means. Katie says, cheese whiz yuck. Yes, Katie, you're right. It is yuck.
And I do like it once in a while.
Yeah, well, we don't have a jar of it in the house right now.
No.
But there are other things. When I was a kid, I grew up with cheese whiz on it, different things on it. But actually, you want to know something that's really good? This will gross you out. Toast with peanut butter and cheese whiz together on it. Sounds gross? Delicious. Try it. It's poverty food. It's trash food. White trash food. Yep. What about spray cheese? You ever had the spray cheese?
We can't buy it in Canada.
We can't buy it in Canada, so you have to go to the Walmart in the States. And the last time we now this has been quite a few years ago when I did this. We went to the Walmart and I bought probably about 6 cans of this stuff. It has a shelf life of about 10 million years. In fact, there's still 1 can left in the shelf, and it's probably still okay to eat down there. And it's like you just spray it on top of a Ritz, and like instant hors d'oeuvres. In fact, one time we had people over for dinner, and as a joke, I said, okay, appetizer. Brought out a box of Ritz crackers and a can of Cheese Whiz. It's something new and novel. It's a make your own hors d'oeuvre. And they all just kind of looked at me like. And of course, you can always do it like you do with whipped cream in a can. Actually, I lost my taste for it.
Yeah.
I think I had too much of it, and that was it. I've sort of now it makes me gag. And yes, and that's what Katie's doing. She's gagging. Ian says, you put what you love on your Yorkshire pudding. Yep. Oh, and Baz John says, what's Cheese Whiz? It's processed yellow cheese that's semi-liquidy. It spreads like peanut butter. It comes in a jar. And you just knife it out and spread it on stuff. So it's a spreadable cheese product because it's really not got that much real cheese in it. It's yellow something. Whatever. That's supposed to with cheese flavoring. Yeah. Oh, and Katie says, squeeze cheese is called. Yeah, they used to have, and we had it in Canada, they put, besides being in a can, it came in a little tube, looked like a sausage tube. And you cut a little hole in this plastic ring that was on it, and you could squeeze it out of the tube onto your cracker. And it made cute little designs because it was like a pastry bag kind of a thing on the top of it. It's the same stuff, though, that's in the cans, and I don't think you can buy.
You can't buy it in Canada.
The squeezed cheese. I don't think you can buy it anywhere anymore. I don't think they make it anymore. That was like way back when I was, when I was a kid.
That was the 70s.
Yeah, that was the 70s. And Kimberly says, spray cheese is a real thing? Sounds terrible. Yes, it's real. And I'm sure if you go online and go into Google and just put in spray cheese, or even on YouTube, I'll bet you there's videos of people eating spray cheese and doing things with them. I bet you they're hilarious, too. I have to do that later tonight to look up that. But yeah, it's a real thing. It's a real thing.
It's probably very fattening, too.
Katie says, I used to eat it. Oh, yeah, it's full of calories. Cindy says, see you, stay safe, have tons of fun. Thanks, Cindy. Ian says, have you had crisps yet? Yeah, of course we do. And there's so many different flavors over here.
Oh, we have quite a few.
Well, I guess we do too. But one couple flavors they don't have here, and the Americans don't have it either, I think, are all dressed and ketchup. We call them potato chips. Here they call them crisps. They're the same thing, basically.
And they taste pretty much the same.
It tastes the same, yeah. What Dorothy says, what sites have you seen so far? Well,
actually, see, it's hard to say because what normally people would come to London for is the big sites like Big Ben and the Tower of London and all other stuff. And we haven't seen any of those, and we're not going to any of those because we've been to London before. And we've seen all of the major sites.
Yeah, we've been to Buckingham Palace.
So what we're doing is we're traveling around and seeing some of the things that we haven't been to before. Like today we went to the Portraits Gallery, which we haven't seen.
Just let me interrupt you for a second. Katie, if you're going on to Barb Owens, let her know that I'm not on there today because I'm in England. Okay? So carry on. Sorry.
And so we did this cheesy thing called the London Dungeon. And then we did Madame Tussauds, which we went there many years ago, and we thought, well, we'd go back and take a look again. But it's okay, but it wasn't really...
It's a little bit on the tacky side, I found this time. They have these extra attractions that are kind of...
And so what we've been sort of doing is going to places we haven't been before. So we went to Brick Lane because supposedly there's a market there, but I think it's on Sunday. And we went there when it wasn't a Sunday. So, but we walked around and looked in that area, and that was kind of interesting. And so there's some things on my list I want to do yet. Is go to Greenwich Mean Time, which we were sort of there last time, but we weren't really sort of there.
Yeah.
And we've got a couple of, we want to go to Camden Markets.
Yeah.
And we want to, we were there last time. We were here in 2014.
Today we went to the National Portrait Gallery.
Right. We'd like to go to the National Gallery.
And we want to go to the National Gallery.
I'm not sure what else is.
We've been to St. Paul's before, so that's not really.
And we've done the London Eye before, and
we've done the Shard before.
Yeah.
We last time we were here, we did the Shard, and we had the special package where you had champagne at the top of the Shard.
Right, and and we did the Emirates Skyline before.
Yeah, that's when we thought we were at Greenwich or close enough to it, but we didn't
and
realize it.
we went to the O2 before, but that was the last trip we were here. So we've been here in 2014. We did quite a few things then. We were here for 8 days. So.
Yeah.
We just decided to do not take it easy and not get too uptight about what we're going to miss or anything like that. So that's sort of what we're doing. We're sort of wandering around, sort of taking in some of the sites as we go along, but we don't have anything really scheduled that we have to see.
What we see, we see. What we don't see, we'll come back and see another time. We don't have the pressure of, you got to go there, you got to see this. In fact, possibly Sunday afternoon, we might go to this little bar called Halfway to Heaven. And we were there the last time, and on Sunday afternoons, now whether it's true that they have it now or not, because that was 3 years ago, they have a little drag show downstairs, and it's hilarious with it. And so we might check that out. We might go to a couple of places in Soho that are gay oriented or whatever. Maybe. Those aren't really biggie on our list anymore. Like, that's not a biggie to go and do those kind of things, but we might. Wherever the winds blow us, we will go. Oh yeah, Katie's going to see Barb and said that. We'll do. Ian says, Barb says hello back to you all. Oh yeah, so Ian's probably watching Barb right now too. As well. Maybe you're watching two of us. I don't know. At the same time, how that works, I'm not sure.
Getting a little long here.
Yeah, we should be. Yeah, we're at our mark now where we should be tuning this in. So I think we will. So, anyways, thanks everybody for tuning in. A little earlier today, but I guess this worked. And for those of you that didn't see us live, it'll be up on the system very shortly, live.
We'll be back home next time.
Yeah, well, no, on Monday. I'm probably going to do a vlog, but I'm not doing that live. I'll do my usual vlog kind of a thing. Probably be a little shorter vlog, because I haven't picked out websites to see or channels to see and things like that. But just to keep things consistent, I will do my vlog on Monday and post it, and
catch up.
We'll catch you up next Friday, live with that. So. Thank you all for the kind regards and for tuning in. And I hope you all have a great week, and we're going to continue having a great holiday. So, we'll talk to everybody soon. See you next week. Bye-bye.